Hello, and here we are in the month of love. February, we've got Valentine's Day. Everywhere I'm going, I see hearts and chocolates and roses all over the place, and there's all the stuff about money and love and passion. I thought, well, let's talk about money. And I just realized I had a bit of a slip there because I slipped in the money thing around love. Because for so many people, the concept of actually love and money feels like they are absolute, water and oil. Never are these two going to blend. And that somehow to really have a fulfilling life full of contribution and love, that is a completely different thing from money. And if you also want a lot of great financial well-being and loads of money in your life supporting you, that needs to almost sacrifice your heart. So it may not just be in intimate love or relationship with one person, but almost your relationship with life and with others. And often it's a belief of one or the other. So over this next week, starting today and then next week, over this whole period of love and Valentine's, I'm going to do a series of these Facebook Lives talking about different aspects of your relationships and how money plays a part in those. And so today's relationship and around money and today's episode is all about your personal relationship and link with money. And because here's the thing, it all starts with you. It's a rippling out concentric circle of how money we relate with in our life. And so often, one of the challenges we have, and I'm jumping ahead, is that we think if we can solve the money stuff that's outside of there, then we will experience more sense of richness and abundance and enoughness and just peace of mind about this money thing. So today it's all about you, and it's so great to see you joining. So let me know who's here, and if you're here, and also you can put in a question if you want, and we'll get back to you. Well, if I pick it up, really exploring this relationship between yourself and money, and how do you make it a nurturing relationship? Next week, we're going to then be taking the next ripple out. So we're going to go, okay, we've spoken about you and ourselves and our relationship with money and how we handle it, manage it, grow it, reject it from our lives. We're going to be expanding into how do we bring money into our relationship, our romantic relationships, into our marriages, in our partnership. How do we speak about money? How do we negotiate with each other? How do we get on a common ground so that we know we actually have the same outlook? And what we're aiming for and the actions we're taking, is it actually going to get us there? What's extraordinary is now having worked with thousands of people through Financial Freedom University or through Wealth Chef book and all other means. I get a lot of letters and emails, as well as knowing statistics, and now also working with a lot of relationship counselors. They'll call me in to work with their groups or clients or just give them some advice. Is this money topic is interwoven into just about every aspect of romantic relationships. Because here's the thing, our money stuff is a pie. It really is a pie chart. I often call it an ecosystem. But if you think about your money and how you relate to it, it is made up of your values. What it is that you value, what is it that you want. It's made up of and so interwoven with your dreams, with your hopes, with sense of security and confidence and certainty. So now you start seeing, whether you're in a relationship or it's just your relationship with yourself, these are common things, and we need to bring them to light and go, what's happening in our money world and how do we relate to it? Then we're going to be rippling out and go, okay, well, what about with other people? What about other relationships you have? Key ones are with your kids. How do you manage money with your kids? How do you have money conversations? When do you bring them into your money challenges or hopes or projects you've got, whether it's getting rid of debt or whether it's starting to invest? When do you start those conversations, and how do you empower your children around this amazing thing called money? And then in the last of our sessions, we're going to be exploring the whole concept of money and your relationship with life and the world. how, when you've got a great relationship with money as your core and how you've got it flowing in your life, how it can start rippling out. And instead of being a force of suppression and anxiety and stress and believing that you can't do what you can do, how do you now turn that on the head and being an amazing leader to your money, you actually are able to now start leaving a legacy. You're now starting to let that really ripple out and using the power of money for expansion, for good, for contribution, for really being able to make sure that you leave this world a better place for having had you in it. So not only with your dreams and your hopes and your heart and your creativity, but having the fuel of money behind you to really let it expand and go well. So let's get back to you. And I just realized I haven't introduced myself. Well, if you don't know me yet, I'm Ann Wilson, the Wealth Chef. And I'm the author of this great book, The Wealth Chef, How to Make Money Work Hard So You Don't Have to. And speaking about yourself, I'd really encourage you, if you don't yet have a copy of The Wealth Chef, is to pop over to Amazon or any great bookstores all over the world and get yourself a copy, either a hard copy or on Kindle version or an ebook version. And really go, you know what, one of the first gifts I'm going to give to myself in this month of love, if Valentine's, is give myself the gift of empowerment around money. And because here's the thing, as long as we keep looking outside of ourselves to sort out our money stuff, if we hope that our partner will sort it out, or maybe a job, or maybe we'll get inheritance, or maybe there's going to be a new invention, or maybe our business is going to solve our money stuff, we actually are never going to make any traction with it. And that's why we really start to see the very core of your money love journey starts with you. You cannot make any changes in your relationship or with your partner around having money conversations until you've really started with yourself. And this is about getting a clear identification of what is it that you want from your money. Now you might say, well, Anne, that's completely obvious. I just want a whole lot of money. You know, that's going to make me feel good. Oh, no, what did I do? I hope I didn't end it there. There was something happened. So here we go. It's really about saying, what did I want? What do I want what do I want that money for? And in order to know that, you need to know what you want. And I often say to people, when you really choose to commit that, you know, you want to master this money thing, it's one of the most profound personal development journeys you can take. Because it has to start with you. And the starting point is to go, well, what do I actually want money for? As opposed to an unconscious choice that, well, you just have to have it. Well, for most of us, we do need to have money in. But we've first got to go, well, what's the hierarchy of it? What's the values for that? Is for me having certainty and security higher value than maybe adventure and travel? We really get clear on these values. What is it that we want? You know, do I want, you know, is having an amazing environment and home really important to me? Or is it more about being able to grow and have experiences and learn? So it's really going, this is not about saying you can't have it all, but we all have a hierarchy. So that's the very first thing, is understanding that our money is directly related to our values. And when we can get clear about what it is we want, we can then start directing our money to that. But when we also get really clear that our money stuff relates to us first, and that until we can really create a great relationship with money, it will never be able to work for us. So something I'd love to give you a challenge and you can explore is to say, if you were in a relationship with money, if you went on a date with it and got involved romantically with money, how would money relate to you as a partner? You know, so a lot of people work so hard to get money into their lives. They get jobs that they spend hours on. A lot of people do jobs that they don't like. They spend hours sitting in commuting, spend so much of their life force. And yet, as soon as that money is in their life, they absolutely disregard it. They ignore it. They basically tell money that, you know what, you're not important. Now imagine if that was a person. Now imagine if you had gone on all of these dates, you'd found your partner, you'd spent all of this energy and effort, bringing in an amazing partner to share your life with, as soon as they're in your life, you effectively just ignore them. In fact, maybe you even abuse them. You were pretty derogatory and mocking to them. Oh, money's not important. Or you were pretty flippant and didn't respect that relationship or that person. And you said to your friends, you know what, you can have them, go and use it. Or you just gave it away. And for a lot of people, they also ignore this amazing thing called money. And if you think of a relationship, they get into their life, and then they don't give it any more attention. Don't say, well, what do I actually want? So when you start actually personifying money and go, well, you know what, when last did I actually give money really clear instruction, as opposed to saying, oh, it's hard, it's difficult, it's confusing, I wish I had more, that it was all about lack and criticizing money. But I actually went, you're in my life. This is what's really important to me. I'd love more of these sort of experiences. And so you and I together are going to work out how to get that. And I'm going to give you energy and time, and I'm going to notice, where am I sending you off to? And is that really getting value? And this is why I encourage everybody to have a money date at least once a month. Well, it doesn't have to be at least once a month, but it can be once a month, which is fine. Some people discover that this is such fun that they actually have a money date every week. But maybe you have one big money date once a month. And when I say big, I'm talking about half an hour. But consciously make it a date. Imagine you're taking you, your money, your financial well-being, your hopes, your dreams, your future, that place, your assets that you're going to create, your investments, you're all going to get together and really, get excited about what you're going to create together. In that money date, you reconnect with your dreams. You reconnect with why you bothered to earn money in the first place. You look at where the money's been going and going, is that really giving me that? What can I direct? But here's so important. You need to make sure that the energy of that money date is fun. It's like a date. You're telling your money that they are important to you, giving them attention. Now, in the Wealth Chef book, I actually give you an outline of exactly what to be doing in that money date, including in that monthly time is updating this key thing called your balance sheet, which tells you what your net worth is. So this is just the third point I want to cover around really understanding why it is so important that you first focus on you and your relationship with money and what you're doing with it. It is your net worth, which is the sum of your assets that can earn money for you, minus the liabilities, the things you owe. That is your net worth. This is the most important indicator you have on your money journey to tell you how well you're doing. So the bottom line is your net worth needs to be consistently growing. But there's a really interesting relationship. So many people think that their self-worth is linked to their net worth, that their self-worth is defined by the job they do, the car they drive, the home they live in, the suburb they have, the holidays they go on, who they hang out with, what restaurants they're able to eat at, what school their kids go to. That defines their worthiness. And worthy of fitting in, worthy of being loved, worthy of being deemed successful. And that all links to how much money we have. So here's the thing. We really have to understand first and foremost, if we're going to create real wealth and real abundance, we've got to directly disconnect your own self-worth from your net worth. They're two totally disconnected things, because if we believe they're connected, we actually emotionally block our ability to let money work, because there's this whole emotional baggage and burden on it which has no place. So there is no relationship between your self-worth and your net worth, because the truth is your self-worth will always be significantly more than your net worth, extraordinarily more. But here's this amazing paradox. As you really consciously start growing your self-worth and start stripping away and seeing, what were the beliefs that you took on that said to you, you weren't good enough, you weren't enough, that you were a burden, or you had to do more in order to have more, that you had to work hard in order to have the things that you wanted, or that money and financial well-being and security and certainty came with sacrifice. So these are all about your own self-worth. When you really connect with those, your net worth just will grow. And this is the interesting paradox. And that's why I come back again, that it all starts with you and going, okay, I am actually my greatest asset. So the more I work on growing on me and really connecting in with my own worthiness, my own enoughness, and going, oh my God, I am good enough. I am worthy. I am already enough to have and experience what I want. Wow. Now from that place, I can start directing my money. I can start thinking about how I bring more in. I can start investing. Because from that place, when you realize it is enough, a key principle can happen. And this is the principle of paying yourself first, which is the number one law of creating a wealthy life, is you have to pay yourself first. But this is so grossly misunderstood by so many people. So what does paying yourself mean? Paying yourself first means that the first bit of money that flows out of your life, first expense that goes out of your life every month, the first bill you pay is actually to your own financial well-being. It's actually writing a check, making a payment, making a transfer into one of your wealth pots that is designed for that money to stay in your life and be redirected in a way that it can either be part of your safety net and your emergency fund to catch you and protect you, or be converted into an asset that can start growing and that down the line is the very thing that can feed you. Now, so many people say, Anne, well, I don't have enough money to start investing or money to start saving, that at the end of every month, there's nothing left. And I go, well, this is part of the challenge. Right now, the message you're sending to your money is that you aren't important. Your relationship with money is one of restriction and contraction. And so I really want to encourage you, let's start understanding how you can pay yourself first. And if you want to know about that, go into the Wealth Chef. There's a whole chapter on paying yourself first, expanding the dough, and what that really means. So if you aren't yet subscribed here to the Facebook Live so you get notified when we do the next one, do that. You can also pop over to thewealthchef.com and connect on my list, and I'll let you know when those are coming up. And just let's keep this conversation going. And next week, look out for the follow-up episodes where it's about, now, how do you start having money conversation between you and your partner? Really juicy. How do you have those conversations with your kids and that relationship? And then how do you actually ripple out and make sure that your money actually brings good to the world, and rather than contraction and subtraction? So until then, keep living a rich, juicy life. Have that money date. Pay yourself first. And keep working on your own worth, knowing that you're worth so much more than your net worth. And when you focus on that, your net worth will keep expanding. So until next time, I'm Anne the Wealth Chef. And just give us those thumbs up and we'll see you soon. Bye.